it's the continuation of the video presentation that belongs to male reproductive system. So now let's continue our discussion to the blood supply of the prostate. So again, there is also a blood supply through the prostate. What are those? We have arterial supply and venous drainage. In arterial supply, as I've said a while ago, in basically identifying the blood supply throughout the body, when we say arterial, it is just a supply, meaning to say the body is supplying again an oxygenated blood. While when we're trying to figure out what is venous, venous is drainage, or trying to drain the oxygenated blood throughout passage or pass through throughout the body. So meaning to say, when we say drain, it will leave the body with your deoxygenated blood. So what happened to the blood supply in the prostate? In arterial supply, the arteries was actually derived from internal pudendal or inferior vesicle and middle rectal arteries. This is particularly on the internal iliac part. While in the venous drainage, the veins of your prostatic venous plexus around side and base of prostate, located between capsule and sheath, drains into internal iliac veins and also communicate with the vesical venous plexus and vertebral venous plexuses. So what is the differences between the supply of arterial supply and venous drainage to the prostate of the male genitalia? So in arterial supply, if we're literally trying to identify how does the blood supply give emphasis with the arterial, is arterial will start at the inferior vesicle of artery. In that inferior vesicle artery, it will transport a major blood supply through your prostate. What will happen? It will also receive blood supply from the middle rectal and internal pudendal arteries. So what are these inferior vesicle artery and pudendal arteries? Okay, basically, if you're trying to figure out what is inferior vesicle artery, it is a type of artery in your pelvic area. Pelvic area anterior division, and it is much more found in the internal iliac of your artery. When we say iliac, it is in the area of your hip. Okay? Then what do you mean by pudendal artery? Okay, pudendal artery is another branch or another type of artery that is in the arterial trunk that usually supply blood to your perineal area or perineal floor. Okay, usually it is above pelvic diaphragm, so that is the arteries that basically supplying your prostate. While in the venous drainage, literally in venous drainage, it is a veins around the prostate that literally drains into your internal iliac veins. If arterial supply in interior iliac artery, venous drainage drains in internal iliac veins. When we say iliac, this is particular veins that is located to your hip. So the process usually drain into the internal iliac lymph node and sacral lymph node. So meaning to say, it is in the part of your lymph nodes and in the part of your sacral. Okay? So that is how the drainage happens. And it also mentioned another part here. We have prostatic venous plexus. When we try to figure out what is prostatic venous plexus, it is actually the network of the small veins, and it is usually surrounds the prostate that make it happen to drain in the pelvis of the male. So meaning to say, this is the reason why there is a venous drainage, because of the venous plexus. Venous plexus is just a network of small veins that happen to be the reason why there is a drainage in the prostate. Okay? So that is the blood supply in the prostate. In the prostate, in arterial supply, we will be, this is, the location of it is in internal pudendal artery or internal iliac artery, while the venous drainage will drain in the internal iliac veins, okay? Or in the prostatic venous plexus. Why? Because it is this network or the small veins that's the reason why there is a drainage in the blood supply to the prostate, okay? So next, we have lymphatic and innervation of the prostate. Number one, what is the lymphatic drainage pertaining to the prostate? The lymph vessels terminate in the internal iliac and sacral lymph nodes. So meaning to say, after the venous drainage, it will follow now to the lymphatic drainage. How does the prostate drain? Here, it is typically drained through the termination of the lymph vessel through the area of internal iliac and sacral lymph nodes. And some of the vessels here in the lymphatic from posterior surface pass with the vessels or lymph vessels from bladder to external iliac. Okay? So that is the passage or the transportation of the blood supply through the arterial supply to the venous drainage and to the lymphatic drainage. Lastly, we have the innervation. Okay, if we're trying to figure out what is innervation, as you can see here, we have parasympathetic fibers and we have sympathetic fibers. Okay, when we say innervation, it is usually the distribution of nerves in the different part of the body. What is the concept of innervation? It is usually a process by which supplying the nerve to the organ or either the part of the body. So one good part of the body in the male reproductive system is prostate. So here, nerve is supplying, nerve is processing through the parasympathetic fibers and sympathetic fibers. Okay, so what is the difference between parasympathetic and sympathetic? Okay, remember, in the prostate gland or in your prostate, it will receive a sympathetic input or sympathetic fibers. What is this sympathetic input? This sympathetic input is in your hypogastric nerve. Hypogastric nerve is basically located to your gastric area, while the parasympathetic input can be arises in your pelvic nerve. Okay. In the addition, the hypogastric and pelvic nerve or pelvic nerve will also provide in your sensory inputs throughout the gland. So that is the reason why there is an innervation in your prostate. Okay? So, next. So this is just a visualization of your or posterior view of your prostate or the prostate of male. Okay? Next. Here, as you can see, this is the prostate. Here, that area. Okay? Let's begin to another organ. Okay. The last organ that we will be tackling for this afternoon is the penis. Okay. Penis is a pendulous organ suspended from the front and side of the pubic arc and containing the greater part of the urethra. Okay. So this is your penis. That's the penis. Penis usually used as a male organ or a genitalia of the male. It is like a transportation used so that the male can urinate or has the process called urinization. And it is also the passageway in the intercourse or sexual intercourse between the male and female. That's the reason that that's the passageway of your seminal vesicle or your semen. Okay? So penis is usually located above the scrotum. Okay? It is like a spongy tissue. So as you can see here, it's like a tube, meaning to say it is like a transportation of the semen of the male then when it is in the ejaculatory duct or ejaculation process. Okay? So that is penis. Again, when we say penis, it is containing a greater part of your urethra and it is used in the process urinization of the male genitalia. It is also used for sexual intercourse. Okay? So that is penis. Next. So penis consists internal root or an external shaft and glands. So we have root. So this portion of the penis extends internally into the pelvic cavity. Okay. When we say what do you mean by pelvic cavity? It is in the abdomen portion and pelvic floor. Okay. We also have the shaft. The shaft is the length of the penis between the glands. So as you can see, we have here the root part, this area, and the shaft of penis. What would be the size of the penis? How does the penis extend? That is the shaft. Okay. Then last, we have the glans. This is the head of the penis that is actually included many of nerves or many nerves. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the glans. Again, we have the root. It is the portion of the penis extends internally into your abdomen portion or pelvic floor, while the shaft is the reason why the penis will extend by length, while the glans is the head of your penis, and usually the nerve can be found in this glans. Okay, then we also have foreskin. The foreskin here, the foreskin usually is the protector or the covering or the skin that covers the penile glands or the penis itself. Okay? It covers by the foreskin. Ito, sa labas, the outer layer. So that is penis. Next. So as you can see here, if you basically literally try to figure out or see the penis, it will flex it because of the shaft. Okay, it will flex into length. It will extend into length because of the shaft. And usually, if ever that in the ejaculation process, you can see different vein, a nerve in the skin of the penis, that is the glans. Okay? Yan na yung when the penis is in the ejaculation process, yung mag-produce na siya ng semen, makikita nyo masyado ang nerve doon. That nerve is your gland. Then, if the extend to the topmost or pinakahuli, extend to the pelvic floor, or to your abdominal wall, or to your pelvic cavity, that is the root. So, meaning to say, lalaki ang penis. Lalaki, tumitigas also. So, if ever that in the ejaculation process, ganun na yung nangyari, you can see a nerve that is called glans. You can see the length of the penis, that is shaft. Okay? If the length of the penis extend to the abdomen wall, that is called root. Okay? So, that is the layers of the penis or the parts of the penis, internal and externally. Okay? Next. So here, just to make it sense about the root, we have the root of the penis. It consists of two crura, which are proximal parts of the corpora cavernosa attached to the pubic arc, and the bulb of penis, which is the proximal part of corpus spongiosum, anchored to the perineal membrane. Okay, what is corpora cavernosa and corpus spongiosum? Okay, let's discuss it one by one. So, if you're trying to figure out what is corpora cavernosa or corpus cavernosum, it is formed usually in the penis, and it contains blood vessels that fill with blood to help make an erection. That is the reason why the penis erect, because of the root of penis, which is corpora cavernosa or corpus cavernosum. Okay? Corpora cavernosa, it is the reason why, or it is the help why the penis erect. Okay? While corpus spongiosum, it is a column of spongy tissue that runs through the shaft or the body of the penis and glans or the head of the penis. It is usually surrounds your urethra. When we say urethra, it is a tube through which urine and sperm pass from the body. So that is the two root of the penis, the corpora cavernosa or corpus cavernosum, which is usually the reason why your penis erect, while the corpus spongiosum is basically a spongy tissue that runs through the shaft and to the glans or the head of the penis. It is also the reason, it is also surrounded in your urethra, the reason why why the urine and sperm passes from the body. So that is the two root of the penis. Then Okay? So here it is basically describes what happened, or the composed of three cylinders. These are structural form of the penis. So the body of the penis is essentially composed of three cylinders of erectile tissue enclosed in the sheath of fascia or back fascia. What do you mean by back fascia? Back fascia is the deep fascia that covering the erectile body of the penis. Okay? So that is back fascia. The erectile tissue is made up of two dorsally placed, which is corpora, I've already discussed that, and corpus spongiosum. At the distal extremity, the corpus okay. This is basically explaining how the corpus spongiosum and corpora cavernosa used, or why it is erected, or how does it erected, sorry. So the spongiosum, because it is a spongy tissue, it will expand to form the gland penis. The gland penis is the head of the penis, which covers the distal end of the corpora cavernosa. That's the reason when the penis erect, the glans head or the head is very visible because of the spongy tissue called corpus spongiosum. On the tip of the glans or the tip of the penis here, as you can see here, here, this one, that tip is slit-like orifice of the urethra, and it is called as the external urethral meatus. So, if we're trying to figure out what is orifice or slit-like orifice, it is basically the opening or the tube or the pipe. As you can see here, the topmost of the penis you can see as a tube or a pipe, or basically a small circle of the area here. Ito. Yan. Okay? So that's the reason why the genitalia of the male can urinate or makaihi, has a process urination, and also the production of the semen or the releasing of the semen. Okay? So that is orifice. Okay. Next. So we have here the visualization of the penis. Okay, so these are the external penile of structure, particularly on the penis. We have corona. When we say corona, the rim of the penile glands. Frenulum, the thin strip of the skin connected the glands to the shaft. Here, as you can see, we have the corona. The frenulum. Frenulum is very flexible. If you're trying to touch it, you can flex it towards. So that is frenulum. So both are highly sensitive areas to the touch. So meaning to say, if you're trying to touch the skin or the outer layer of the penis, it will react and it will erect because of this. It's very sensitive. Okay? So that is the external penile or the structure of the penis. So these are the blood supply pertaining of the penis. Let's start with the arteries. In arteries, the corpora cavernosa are supplied by the deep arteries of the penis. And in addition, the dorsal artery of the penis also supplies the blood in the corpora cavernosa. And all the above of arteries are branches of internal pudendal artery. So particularly, what particular artery is being supplied here in penis is pudendal artery. How about the veins? The veins is usually drain or drain into the internal pudendal veins. So that is usually the differences between the blood supply of the penis. But the differences between the two areas is that in the internal pudendal artery, if you try to compare it to the internal pudendal veins, kasi internal pudendal veins usually drains or leave deoxygenated blood through the body, aalis, while internal pudendal artery will supply. Reminder that the main source of your blood supply in your penis or in the penis is the internal pudendal artery. It usually removes from forward trunk of internal iliac artery independently, and it has 50% of supply or blood supply. Again, if we're trying to figure out what is internal pudendal artery, I've already mentioned it. It is the arterial trunk that usually supply to all perennial structure. So what are those perennial structure? It is included your genitalia. It's either male or female genitalia. It's included. It's included from inferior to your pelvic and to your diaphragm. Okay, meaning to say abdomen, pelvic, perennial floor, diaphragm is included in the internal pudendal artery. Okay? So that is the differences between the supply of arteries and veins through the penis. Okay. So these are the lymphatic innervation of the penis. Lymph drainage. The skin of the penis is drained into the medial group of superficial inguinal nodes or the superficial markings. In that area, the skin of the penis will try to drain. The deep structure of the penis are drained into the internal iliac nodes. So in nerve supply, for the sensation, the nerve supply is from the pudendal nerve and the pelvic plexuses, and erectile functions are parasympathetic, which is excitatory, and sympathetic, which is inhibitory. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin. Okay. So when we say lymphatic drainage of the penis, it encompasses or it will pass through the three locations. Number one, the superficial inguinal nodes. When we say superficial inguinal nodes, this is your penis skin, the outer layer of the penis. Then, into deep inguinal and external iliac nodes or the glans penis or the head of the penis. And lastly, the interior iliac nodes or the reason or the tissue in the erectile portion or why the penis will erect because of this internal iliac nodes. Okay? Now, aside from that, we also have the nerve supply. So pertaining to the nerve supply, the sensation will start on the pudendal nerve and passes through the pelvic plexuses. Pudendal nerve, usually, if we're trying to figure out what is pudendal nerve, it is the nerve in your pelvic region. It sends movement or motor. That's why the penis can erect, can move, can flex because of this. Okay? Then, in erectile function, again, pag sinabing parasympathetic, excitatory, and when we say sympathetic, it is inhibitory. Okay? So that is the lymphatic drainage and the innervation of the penis. So meaning to say, not only the brain has a nerve, every part of the body has a nerve, okay? Because nerve sends motor or sends movement. Okay? Next. So this is the analogous structure in male and female sexual anatomy. Okay, as you can see, for male, we have glands, foreskin, shaft, and scrotal sac, and testes. We have female, we have clitoris, clitoral hood, labia minora, labia majora, and ovaries. So these are just a structural form of the penis here. Penis, or in the male genitalia, and we have the female genitalia. Okay? So for the female genitalia, we'll be making another video for that. Okay? I think I am already done. Thank you. So that would be the last portion of the discussion in male reproductive system. I want you to prepare, write the terminology that I gave emphasis with in the discussion. Be sure that tomorrow you are prepared because I will be having my oral recitation in the male reproductive system. This time, I will be sending the link and I will be calling names. So meaning to say, ako lang at siya ang sa loob ng GMIT. And I will be beginning it and I will be starting it through names or surnames. So it's up to me if it is in the lower part or yung mga nasa pinakaulihan ng mga apelyido or in the upper part. Okay? So that would be my activity for tomorrow. So be sure that you are in my meet because attendance is a must. My oral recitation always give emphasis with 75 points. So if you have questions, clarifications, you can raise it or you can PM me later on, or even you can raise it in the GC. If you are shy to raise it, you can PM me. I am active until 10 o'clock. Okay? So if there's no more questions, clarifications, I think that would be the last part of our topic. So this is just a representation of the discussion. Okay? So thank you so much. Bye, everyone.